Welcome back to the Deep Digger Sports Pod. I'm your host, Shrew, my other host right over there.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to drop some comments below and make sure you subscribe because we are talking all the matchups here at the college football playoff.
Yeah, we got Tennessee and Ohio State this weekend, and this is the matchup that I think we're both most hyped for. We have a really talented Ohio State team that's fallen flat in a few weeks, and we have a Tennessee team that is very talented with a young quarterback in Nico that we got to see him do it on a big stage here.
Yeah, I think of the four matchups, I think this one is the highest potential for an upset. I wouldn't even say like that's hands down. I think this is the highest potential for upset. I think we're seeing. I don't know if you're seeing the discourse online, but Ohio State fans are very very nervous. Tennessee Volunteer fans are flocking to buy tickets. It is not going to be your standard Ohio State home game, and people are talking about the atmosphere being pretty rowdy when it comes to Tennessee. They're saying that you don't know. This is a sleeping giant. They will travel so well, and they're going to make this game hell for an Ohio State team that's really kind of never been tested as much as they are going to be tested this game.
Yeah, Ohio State right now -7.5. Tennessee's +240, and the over/under is at 46.5. I mean, if you want to sprinkle a little bit on Tennessee for the upset or to cover with the over, that's a pretty good parlay right there. And I think this Ohio State team going into the Michigan game had some pressure, but it wasn't very high stakes. It didn't feel like they had a lot of weight on their shoulders. And as that Michigan game went on, you feel the weight of Ryan Day. Is he the guy? The fan base turning on the coach. Are the players able to put this together? Will Howard, is he a guy that can win a national championship? You feel all the weight of the world start to pile on these guys, and they lose that Michigan game. And now you're looking at this team like the amount of pressure on this game for them to win is insane because the goal is not just to win a playoff game, it's to win the national championship. And this is a team with that talented of a roster that could do it. But if they fall flat, if they fall short, there's going to be some big changes. I mean, or at least there's going to be a mob calling for changes at Ohio State.
There is a mob calling for changes right now. I mean, and that's something I guess we'll talk about like another time. Like the way that where the playoff stands and where the coaching carousel is, and now with the transfer portal being open during this time, December is hell for college football coaches, realistically, and for the programs in general. Because if you're Ohio State and you did want to make a change after this week, like who are you going to go out and get? You have to basically drop an entire bank on a guy to get him to leave his program mid transfer portal, mid like playoff, like when. So it's crazy to think like the timing of everything. But anyways, like speaking of timing, that's the one thing that if I'm an Ohio State fan, I'm concerned about is the timing of like if you just had that knock on you that hey, we lost to Michigan, but it was in week 3, like something like Notre Dame, where Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois, and that's just a blip on the radar now. We're so far past that. We've knocked out everything else in our schedule. We feel confident. We're ready to go. That's not the case here. That just happened a couple of weeks ago, and the last thing that you've seen from Ryan Day is him sitting there asking, "What happened? What happened?" While Shimon Moore is over there trying to break up the fight. Like, I I just don't know how on board everyone is. I know I've seen the interviews where Will Howard is saying we have to go out there and win the whole thing. Like that's what we need to do. I just don't know how convinced I am. How motivated do you get up for this? And you have a Tennessee team. This Tennessee defense is nasty. Like if they get up on them, I think that they would be able to sit on the lead.
Yeah, and then we said it all season. Ohio State's offense is streaky. They have crazy explosive talent, but there's times where they come out very stagnant early in the game, and they're very much a second half team. I think in Tennessee, if you want to talk about Judkins over Ohio State, Tennessee has Sampson, who has 1,400 yards and 22 touchdowns, and then Bishop as a complement. Like that run game is really nice. And what did Michigan do? Run the ball against Ohio State. So I mean this has some spellings of it could a lot of things could be in Tennessee's favor.
Yeah, and I think on top of that, if you're gonna just go based off matchups, Will Howard versus Nico. Like I know we talk like this whole season, like Nico is just we don't know, like he hasn't been in these games. He doesn't have the experience. He has a full season under his belt now. He looked much more improved as the season went on. I I'd feel a little bit more confident in Nico because I feel like Nico isn't making the same mistakes that Will Howard makes, and Will Howard is good for like 3 mistakes every single game, where we just don't see that with Nico. We don't see him make these dumbass throws. I mean, we've seen it a couple times just because he's, young, but Will Howard has a bunch of playing career. Like he has
It
so
should
much
be
more
Will
time.
Howard's strength. This should be Will Howard's strength, like situationally awareness and like playing it safe with the ball regarding turnovers. That should be his like most important trait. And it seems like he kind of falls apart when when things don't go the right way.
Yeah, 100%. So I don't know. I feel like this is very like you got to take the points. If you're a betting person, I would take Tennessee and the points. I feel like you could even sprinkle some on just Tennessee outright and feel really good about it.
Yeah, well, you guys let us know in the comments how you're feeling about this matchup. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We're talking all the other matchups. So go ahead and watch those videos too.
Later.